There's nothing out there quite as capable and versatile as a full-size pickup truck. They can tow, haul, and live life as everyday workhorses, or they can be refined enough to handle the daily commute, no problem.
Oh hey, look what we've got. That is a 2019 Chevy Silverado LT, and this is a 2019 Ram 1500 Laramie. Both of these trucks were redesigned for the 2019 model year. We're gonna look at the specs, check out the interiors, and get behind the wheel. I'm Elana.
And I'm Travis. We're from Edmonds. We test and review hundreds of cars and trucks every year. CarMax buys, sells, and expertly appraises thousands of vehicles. So we've combined our testing knowledge with CarMax's experience to find the right truck for you.
Before we get into these trucks, do me a favor. Click like below and subscribe for more videos like this one. Also, if you want all the nitty-gritty details on these trucks, click the link below for an in-depth article.
While both of these are available with diesels and V6s, the two trucks we're featuring today have good old American V8s. There are actually two V8s available for this fourth generation Silverado. Under the hood of this LT is a 5.3-liter V8 paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, putting out 355 horsepower. The 5.3 has plenty of power for towing, hauling, and all the daily truck tasks. But if you want more ponies, there's an optional 6.2-liter V8. It puts out a whopping 420 horsepower. That's more than the Ram. The looks of the redesigned 2019 Silverado are, shall we say, polarizing. I personally prefer the looks of the Ram, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. The crew cab we have here is one of the most spacious in the class. It allows for the most passenger room, and it's one of the most versatile setups to balance work and family. Back here, there are a lot of tie-down options. 12 tie-down points means you can secure your loads, all kinds of stuff, various sizes, without worrying about heavy items moving around a lot in the bed. The Silverado can tow and haul quite a bit too, with a max tow rating of 12,200 pounds when properly equipped, and a max payload rating of 2,280 pounds. They aren't quite top of the class, but those numbers are within just a few hundred pounds. The Silverado is the only truck in the segment that offers a powered down and up rear tailgate. And while this LT trim doesn't have that option, it does have these cool side steps that help you get in and out of the bed. Trucks today have to balance comfort and utility. And while we feel like it's comfortable for a full-size pickup, where the Silverado really shines is in the utility department. Now, when we take a look at the interior, everything falls easily to hand, which is great, and the buttons feel like they're built out of sturdy plastics that would hold up to abuse over a long time, but the design feels a bit dated. The fonts are from the previous generation, and some of them are pretty small and hard to read at just a moment's glance. And aside from the buttons, some of the dash materials feel a bit hollow and plasticky. These seats are sturdy and comfortable, and they're pretty firm padding, but like the buttons, they feel like they'd hold up to abuse over time. There's plenty of headroom and legroom in the front and in the back seat. There's lots of space back there for tall passengers that can stretch out over a long ride and even take a nap. One of the things that this truck has is multiple cab configurations. So you can get the regular cab, the extended cab, or this, the crew cab. Whatever fits your needs and however much space you need in the bed, you can have it. This truck has some pretty clever storage solutions, like this fold-up center console. There's even a little cubby underneath the seat, and there's two cubbies in the back. Tech offering's impressive on paper. You get stuff like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, but in reality, the screen feels a little bit low-res, especially compared to some of the rivals in the class. But let's see how the Silverado does out on the road. The Silverado has a comfortable cabin. It's got well-padded seats, and the suspension soaks up most of the bumps, even if it does still say truck. Basically, the larger stuff makes its way in here. And one of the reasons for that is that the Silverado still uses a more traditional leaf spring setup in the rear. While that helps keep the towing and hauling numbers high and gives this big truck capability, it loses the battle when it comes to comfort on the highway, especially compared to trucks with coil spring suspension. Steering and handling are average for the class and what you'd expect from such a capable truck. It handles corners just fine, but the ride isn't as smooth. The Silverado pros would be a spacious cabin, especially on the crew cab configuration, a versatile system of in-bed tie-downs, multiple engines, and lots of cab configurations to choose from. Cons would be a dated user interface and missing driver aids like adaptive cruise control.
Just like the Silverado, the Ram 1500 was redesigned for 2019. And like the Silverado, it weighs less than the previous generation and has increased towing and hauling capacity. Ram's redesign was a big leap forward for the company. The newer trucks are far more refined and offer significantly more storage space than previous models. We think it has some of the sleekest design lines you'll find in a pickup truck, and on upper trim levels, it feels more like a luxury SUV than a big old pickup. But don't worry, it'll still do all the important truck stuff. Just because it's more comfortable doesn't mean it's any less useful. If your important truck stuff includes going off pavement, you might want to look into some of the Ram's more aggressive off-road oriented trims, like the Rebel. We did a long-term test of a Ram 1500 at Edmunds, and we found that the air dam on the more street-based trucks was a little bit low, which isn't a problem on the street, but might be off-road. For the 2019 model year, you could get the optional 5.7-liter Hemi V8, which is what's in this truck, or the standard V6. An optional 3-liter diesel was available in 2018 and older Rams or 2020 and newer Rams, but no diesel for 2019. Sorry, not my fault. The V8 puts out 395 horsepower, which puts it right in between the two Chevy offerings. It accelerates quickly. It's actually an extremely quick truck with smooth shifts from the 8-speed automatic. Back here, you'll find big cargo tie-downs to secure your gear and toys, but there aren't as many as there are in the Silverado. Having more makes it easier to lock down your stuff, so the Chevy wins in terms of versatility. But if you've got heavy-duty ropes or big hooks to secure back here, the Ram's D-rings are a bit larger, so you know, it's creeping up there. No truck on the market feels as classy as a Ram 1500. And that has a lot to do with the interesting interior choices. I mean, we're in the Laramie, which isn't even the top trim level, and it still has all of these cool different materials and different colors. It's nothing like what you expect from a truck interior, which are normally these kind of black holes with just basically nothing in them. The seats in the Ram are top-notch too. Some of the lower trims feel like the padding's a little bit firmer, but here in the Laramie, we are plush and comfortable. And they look nice. There's different materials being used in the seats too. This one has sort of a suede and a leather feel and this nice silver trim. Kind of matches the black and silver going on in the rest of the cab. Like I said, classy. Another positive trait the Ram 1500 has is interior storage solutions. The massive center console, the under-seat storage in the back, the big glove box, there's all kinds of places to store your stuff in here, and the Ram definitely wins in that category. In fact, if you can't find a place to put what you've got with you in the Ram, maybe you don't need it with you. Speaking of rear seats, there's a reason why modern pickups are called cowboy Cadillacs. It is roomy and comfortable back there, whether you're talking about your work crew or the car seat crew. The tech via Ram's Uconnect system is one of our favorites on the market. Now, the mid-level Laramie doesn't have the massive 12-inch screen in the center stack, so that's something to keep in mind if you're like really into those big displays. But even this smaller screen is clear, easy to use, and quick to respond. It's really something to think about if you're planning to get a truck for family use or as a work vehicle where multiple different people are going to be getting in and out of it. The learning curve on the Uconnect is almost non-existent. It's pretty and it's comfortable and it's spacious, but how does the Ram drive? The 5.7-liter V8 in the Ram is punchy with plenty of power for passing and towing. You know, Chevrolet may have more engine options, but I have no complaints about the 1.8 that Ram offered in 2019. In the right configuration, the Ram has a payload rating of 2,300 pounds and can tow up to 12,750 pounds. Whoa, those are serious numbers. It's even more impressive when you realize how comfortable the truck is while it's doing all that. The Ram's rear coil spring suspension makes it a class leader for comfort. Unlike the Silverado with the more traditional leaf spring suspension, the Ram just glides over bumps and imperfections in the road. The ride may be soft, but the steering is sharp. And the overall ride, I mean, Ram just knocked it out of the park with this setup. Now, some truck purists might have a complaint about this little fiddly rotary knob instead of a big shifter in the console or on the column. But you know, most shifters these days aren't even mechanically attached to the car anyway, so why does it matter where it is? Just sit back and enjoy all the extra space that it gives you. Also, watch this, it's really cool. Say you stop and you turn the truck off and you forget to put it in park. Does it for you! How cool is that? All right, let's recap some of the pros and cons of the Ram. Pros: refined, modern interior, comfortable ride, high towing and hauling numbers. The cons: not as many tie-down points in the bed, low front air dam, and not as many engine options as you can get in the Silverado.
The 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 and the 2019 Ram 1500 are both totally capable rigs, but there's a clear winner here. The Ram 1500 is more modern, more refined, and a bit classier. The inside has all those cool storage cubbies, and for comfort on the highway, it can't be beat. Plus, it's got the highest towing and hauling capability between the two, and that's a major consideration for us when we're evaluating full-size pickup trucks.
Don't get us wrong, the Silverado is still a solid choice. If you want a wider variety of engine options and bed lengths, it might be the truck for you. And even if it can't quite match the Ram's towing and hauling capabilities when you compare the numbers on two equally matched trucks, it still has serious truck chops. And it has that really useful bed tie-down system. Whichever of these trucks speaks to you, you won't be disappointed with their capabilities. But we have to pick a winner, they said we did, and it's gonna be the Ram.
Thanks for watching. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the CarMax YouTube channel. And for all the information on these two trucks, their competitors, and all your used car buying advice, be sure to click the links below.